The city changes after hours, not dramatically. No fireworks, no announcements. It just exhales. Shops pull their shutters down like eyelids. Streetlights flicker into a softer honesty. Even sounds lose confidence. Footsteps hesitate. Dogs bark without conviction. Trains sigh instead of scream. At 1:17 a.m., a man stands at a bus stop that no longer expects buses. He's not waiting. That's the first lie of the night. He tells himself he's just standing there because it's quieter than his apartment. Because the walls there know too much. Because silence indoors feels accusatory. Outside, silence feels earned. A moth keeps throwing itself at the street light above him. Again, again, again. The sound is barely audible, but once noticed, impossible to ignore. The man wonders if obsession always sounds that small from the outside. He checks his phone, no notifications. Of course, the screen lights up his face just enough to remind him that he exists, then abandons him again. He puts it back in his pocket quickly, like a secret he's ashamed of. Across the road, a closed cafe still smells faintly of coffee and burnt sugar. Earlier today, people laughed there. Promises were made over ceramic cups. Decisions that would not survive the night were spoken with confidence. Now it's just furniture, waiting to be useful again. He remembers sitting at that very cafe months ago, telling someone specific, that he was fine with whatever happens. He had smiled while saying it. Smiles are excellent disguises. They sound like courage. The truth arrives late at night because it doesn't have competition then. The truth is, he wanted something to happen. Badly. He just didn't want to want it. A car passes, too fast for this hour. Music thumps inside it. Some song about freedom or heartbreak, or freedom through heartbreak. The car disappears, leaving behind a brief vibration in the air, like a thought that almost mattered. The moth finally gives up and drops to the ground. Or maybe it didn't give up. Maybe it just ran out of reasons. He feels an unexpected tightness in his chest and laughs quietly at himself. Imagine being moved by a moth. Imagine needing metaphors at this age. He thinks of all the versions of himself that existed earlier in the day. The competent one at work, the polite one in conversations, the amused one in public. They all clocked out by midnight. What remains now is the unedited version, the one without posture, the one who remembers things in the wrong order, the one who still measures time by absences. He sits down on the bench. The metal is cold, honest. It doesn't try to comfort him. He appreciates that. Somewhere nearby, a window opens. A couple argues in low voices, sharp enough to cut, soft enough to pretend they are not doing damage. He doesn't hear the words, just the rhythm. Accusation, defense, silence, repeat. It sounds familiar. He wonders how many lives are quietly unraveling at this exact moment, hidden behind curtains and bravado and I'm fine texts sent earlier in the evening. Probably more than anyone would admit. probably enough to fill the city. The street light flickers. For a second, the world dims, and in that brief uncertainty, he feels a strange relief, as if the universe itself hesitated, as if even reality occasionally doubts its own consistency. He closes his eyes. For a moment, just one. He allows himself to imagine an alternate night, one where he went home earlier, one where a different message arrived, one where a different choice, made months ago, led to a different silence now. The image is vivid, dangerous. He opens his eyes again, almost sharply, as if catching himself doing something illegal. Hope, after hours, is reckless. A bus finally appears at the far end of the road. Not his route. It doesn't matter. It slows down anyway. Doors hissing open. Light spilling out like an invitation that isn't meant for him. No one gets off. No one gets on. The bus waits a beat longer than necessary, then closes its doors and moves on. He watches it disappear, feeling something twist. Not sadness exactly, not regret, but recognition. The quiet understanding of how many things in life arrive briefly, offer nothing specific, and leave without explanation. He stands up. The night hasn't fixed anything. It never does, but it has rearranged him slightly, like furniture moved just enough to change how a room feels. He starts walking home, footsteps steady now, not rushing, not dragging, just moving. Behind him, the street light steadies. The moth is gone, the cafe remains closed. The city continues its low, private breathing. Tomorrow, he will say very little about this night. But some nights don't need witnesses, they just need to be survived.